Hello beauty babes, welcome back to my channel. As you can see by the title of today's video, I'm going to be transforming my disgusting, very old knotless braids into some pretty faux butterfly locks. So if you'd like to see that, then just keep on watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in a few moments. Okay, so before I actually start to show you how I wrap the locks and everything like that with the knotless braids, I just wanted to let it be known that these are pretty long. Like, as you can see, I'm not keeping them this long for the faux locks because I don't want them to be that long. So the first thing I'm going to do, which is what I want to show you before I start wrapping them, is I'm just going to cut off the ends, because these were the Goddess knotless braids that I did, and I just don't want them to be this long with the extra hair on the end. So I'm going to cut off, honestly, I don't know, a couple of inches just straight across, because I don't mind if it's blunt or not, because you're not really going to see the ends anyway. Also, some of the ends are tangled a bit, so it would just be easier to work with. I just wanted to show you that I cut it before I started wrapping them around, but I'm gonna come back and show you how to wrap the top so you can obviously see, because the back I won't be able to show you much. So I mean, I'm just gonna cut to that part. So yeah, just want to show you that, so just keep on watching. Okay, so here I am about halfway of my head done, and I'm gonna start showing you actually how I do them and everything. So what I'm using is the free tress water wave hair in, honestly, I'm gonna be honest, it's in 1B and 1. I don't mind mixing the two. It's all your preference. I'm using that, and I'm using some Shine in Jam, the one in the orange container, because that's just the one that I like personally better. And that's it. Like, that's it. I'm not using anything else. If you can't get the wrapping down, you can easily insert a crochet needle and then put the hair through and then wrap it that way. But me, I've just been wrapping it in the way that I'm about to show you now. So the first thing you're going to do, take a piece of hair, and you're going to start to fluff it out, because you obviously want the hair to be a little bit more fluffier. You can use more or less hair. It's up to you on your preferred like thickness and everything. It's just completely up to you. I just like the one piece. It works perfectly fine for me, since especially I have a lot of braids in my head, since these were knotless braids. I don't want it to be too big and too overwhelming when I try to go and style them and stuff. So I just keep it with the one piece of water wave hair from Free Tress, and that works perfectly fine for me. Okay, so now that your hair is separated, I just set it off to the side, like on my leg or something, and now get started to put the Shine in Jam on my new growth to get it to tame it better, because since I have new growth, since I've had these braids in for a while, I don't want all of my new growth, and even my baby hairs will come out. A lot of them, like the ones that I don't like to wear out, will be out, and so I just do this to make sure they're going to be put back into the lock, so I don't have to worry about it. But I leave out the baby hairs that I actually do like, because obviously you don't want them to be ripped out. But now, once your base is all jammed, you're gonna take the end of your hair, you're going to like put this end with your braid, twist, whatever you're starting out with, and you're just going to start to wrap the hair around itself. I wrap it around the base about 3 or 4 times, or whatever feels right just for you, your preferred tightness, but you just do this to make sure it's secure at the top, which is what's going to make the new growth obviously look like it's not new growth. It's gonna be more sleek, I guess. I'm horrible at explaining, but hopefully you get my gist. But yeah, so after you wrap around your root a couple of times, I like to switch hands just because it's easier to wrap for me. It just depends with you, but you're gonna keep wrapping the exact same way and slowly start to move down. Now I've noticed when I'm doing this, the hair starts to get a little like pushed together kinda. So when you wrap it, you want to make sure you're fluffing it out, make sure you're covering more surface area. Also, when wrapping, if you want those little loops that people be like having out with their butterfly locks, you can either just wrap really loosely to get them, or you can put your finger through the hair as you're wrapping, kind of like this. I'm about to show you, hopefully you can see. Put it through like this and then wrap around that. Honestly, this is hard to do, so I don't really do it, if we're being honest. But if you want those little loops that people have at the end of their butterfly locks, honestly, I don't know how they do the whole finger thing. I just loosely wrap and they'll eventually just pop out, but I don't feel like doing that right now. So I would probably go in with the hair at the end to possibly but if you want, now that I'm at the end of my twist, it's gonna be hard to talk because I like to put my hair in my mouth because it just makes it easier, but you're gonna be able to see what I'm doing. Basically what I'm going to do is put my finger in between the hair, kind of like wrap it around like this, and then just start to wrap upwards. You're gonna want to wrap it upwards the opposite direction. So you're gonna do this basically and wrap around the base of that. You'll be able to see what I'm doing, but like I said, I will have a hard time explaining with the hair in my mouth. So I just kind of want to tell you now. So I'm about to show you what I'm talking about. So now you do that. And now you're just going to slowly start to wrap back upward. When wrapping, you want to make sure you're doing it extremely tight when it comes to the end, otherwise it'll like unravel and stuff. I've had that happen to me a bunch of times. Honestly, it's happening with some of the twists I have in my head already. but you know, it doesn't bother me that much since I did them. I can just redo them when I need to. But yeah, this is it. Now I'm gonna show you another one and try to explain myself doing another one. Going to get the hair and separate it however much you want to separate it. Disclaimer with this hair though, this hair can get nappy quick, matted, and tangled, so you definitely want to take your time, be careful when separating this hair. You can start from the ends and everything. It'll obviously be easier and low-key better that way, but I don't have the patience to take that long, so I just don't force the separation. I kind of go where it'll go naturally. So now that I have my hair, I'm gonna take some Shining Gem like before, put it on the base. I still like to put it on the base even though there is no like no baby hairs or anything. I still put it on the base just to get the flyaways that have possibly came out and stuff, just to get those tamed. Then, like before, I'm gonna take the ends of the hair, connect it with the braid lock thing, with the braid. It's not a lock, the other one's just right here. Made my brain kind of go wonky. But you're gonna connect it with the braid, and like before, just start wrapping. Wrap however many times is comfortable to you. I wrapped only 3 to 4, but if you want to wrap more or less, that's completely your choice. And then once you wrap your base, you're going to start to wrap down. I like to switch hands just because it's just easier for me to wrap this way. Okay, so I can see I have the other lock done, and there's this like piece of where it's starting to get too long at. I'm gonna show you what I do when I have these little pieces at the end. Just give me a moment. Okay, so once I finish the lock and I have this little piece at the end, this doesn't always happen. If I don't trim it before I start, it'll happen sometimes, but sometimes it's fine. I just literally cut it off, like at the base. But be careful to not cut the hair that, you know, you wrapped your lock around, because then it'll start to come undone. Throw it back, and now I'm gonna move on further throughout my head, kind of just going through a time lapse, showing you, and then I'll come back, you know, once everything is all finished. Okay, so it's like a day later, not gonna lie. As you can see, all the twists are pretty much, all the locks, my bad, are pretty much in my head. My camera ended up cutting out, so I wasn't able to show you me doing the rest like I wanted to. But I did want to show you how to better secure the ends, because as you can see, some are coming unraveled, some aren't. So I'll do this when they start to come unraveled, but I was just trying to hurry up and get done because I got my second COVID shot. And so I started to feel a little bit of side effects and feeling a little tired and stuff. So I just was trying to get through it. But yeah, so if you have watched my previous videos on my locks, I had this problem, and some people also have this problem. I had this problem where some of them will start to unravel at the ends, and obviously that's a no-go. So you would have to keep wrapping it and stuff, which is good if you know how to do it, but it can be very tedious and very annoying. So what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to wrap it like you're gonna end it any other time. This is how it looks. I'm gonna wrap it. Hold on. Okay, so here's the end. As you can see, I looped it around this finger, and I'm going to loop it back around here and then just wrap, you know, this other side up. And just give me one moment. Okay, so what you're gonna do here is you're gonna take some nail glue. You're going to put like a dot wherever, you know, your lock is gonna end or whatever. And you're just going to continue wrapping the hair around like the glue and stuff. And then I still roll it in my palms just to make sure it's firmly on there. And now, you know, it'll stay because obviously the glue will hold it together. Quite simple, quite easy, you know, like I said. Honestly, it will be a lot easier if you do this obviously as you go. I can show you how I'm going to do this so that you can see, get a gist on what it is that I'm doing. Actually, I'm gonna move up so you can actually see what I'm doing. Okay, so that's it. Obviously this is not the finished look. I'm gonna come back when, you know, my edges are done, everything is done, I look more presentable to actually show you, you know, the actual locks, tell you how I feel about them and whatnot. So just stay tuned for that. We'll be in a few moments. So yeah. Hello beauty babes. So as you can see, my hair is now done. It's honestly been a couple of days because I just wasn't able to film it, the finished product, once I actually got done. But this is how they are looking. I'm going to back up to show you how long they are. They're not that long. They're shorter than my Knotless Braids was because, as you saw in the video previously, further ahead, I cut them so that they could be more even and not as long because I didn't want them to be too long. I didn't want to deal with that. But yeah, this is how they're looking. It took me, honestly, well, in reality, it took me like 2 days to finish because I was doing them one day and it just ran too late and I got tired, and then I had to get my COVID shot, so I was kind of down another day. So then I had to finish up the top part then, but that's also because I have a lot of ones in my head. I have nearly 100 in my head. I think I have like 80 something because of my Knotless Braids. They were small, and since I did them from that, you know, I have a lot in my head. I typically, if I was to just do this style, would not do this many because it's hard to put in a ponytail. As you can see, like I can barely kind of grip it, but they're not that sore anymore. It took about 3 days. They took me roughly 3 days to, well, technically 2, because I had a day break in between because I did my hair, started it one day. I had a little bit up top left, but I had to go take my second dose of COVID shot, which is irrelevant to the situation, but I was down for the rest of that day and a little bit of the next. So I then finished it the day after that. But yeah, like I said, irrelevant to it, but it honestly probably wouldn't take as long as if you didn't have as many as I had, but you know, it's my choice. They're not that sore anymore. They took, you know, about 3 days to not be sore. I'm not gonna lie, when I move them certain ways, they still hurt a little bit, but nothing too bad. It's hard to put them up though, like I said, because I have a lot in my head. So keep that in mind when doing these, because I didn't. But I mean, they're cute, they're nice, they're cute. They're longer versions of the ones that I've done previously on my channel. not the same method, which is why I filmed this video. In the previous video I used the crochet method, but in this video I just wrapped them around, as you can see earlier in the video. But I use 7 packs of hair of the, let me find the actual package thing, the free tress water wave one. I used 7 packs, like I said. That pretty much did my whole head. I really didn't have any hair left over, so also keep that in mind. The style costed me about, I want to say around $75 because the hair was $7.99 a pack, which is quite expensive. Typically when I can find them, they're $5.99. The beauty supply I went to, which I've never really went to before because I just moved here, but they were $7.99. So I mean, I guess it just varies from where you live on the price and everything, but for me personally it cost me about $75, and all I did was get the hair and the shine and jam that you saw me use on my roots. But you know, that's it. I'm going to do another video over how I style these when I figure out more ways how to style these, because these aren't like box braids, so certain styles to me just, you know, the basics look cool, but you know, some of the basics that you would do with box braids, I don't really like how they look with these, so it just depends. But anyway, we have come to the end of today's video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.